7 life-saving tips that every senior should know in order to survive a heart attack independently after the age of 60. Have you ever given any thought to what you would do in the event that you suddenly suffered a heart attack because you were by yourself? This is a terrifying concept, and sadly, it occurs more frequently than we are aware of occurrences. Many individuals have the misconception that they will have time or that someone will be there to assist them. But the reality is that the initial few minutes are the most crucial. And the actions that you take or do not take can have a significant impact on the outcome. Even if you live by yourself or spend the majority of your time by yourself, it is still possible to survive a heart attack provided you take prompt action and are quite knowledgeable on what to do in the event of a heart attack. In the following video, we are going to go over 7 essential actions that you need to take the instant a heart attack starts and you are the only person nearby. These measures are straightforward, useful, and potentially life-saving. Training in medicine is not required of you. You do not require any specific apparatus. Simply put, you need to be ready and maintain your composure. There will be a step-by-step breakdown of how to spot the initial symptoms, what actions to take immediately, how to prevent your heart from working too hard, and even what tiny activities you can do that could give you just enough time to obtain the assistance you require. Be sure to stay with us until the very end, since the final few steps are the ones that the majority of people overlook. But they could very well be the ones that save your life. Don't put off learning what your body is trying to tell you until it's too late to get the information. It's time to get started. First and foremost, being able to identify the first warning symptoms. In order to survive a heart attack on your own, the first and most critical step is to become familiar with the sensations that you experience, not only in your chest but throughout your entire body. Most people have the misconception that a heart attack will be characterized by a severe and crushing pain in the chest, as depicted in movies. However, the reality is that genuine heart attacks sometimes start with far less obvious symptoms, and it is easy to overlook these early warning signs until it is too late. You should feel a deep, uncomfortable pressure or a squeezing sensation in the middle of your chest. This is what you are searching for. The sensation may be similar to that of something being placed on top of you or as if your chest is gradually being filled with cement. It is also possible that it will come and go, leading you to believe that it is not a severe issue. Nevertheless, if it continues for more than a few minutes or keeps coming back, you should not question its validity. Another early symptom is shortness of breath, which can occur even in the absence of chest pain. Even if you are sitting still, you could have the sensation that you have just accomplished a hill climb. A number of individuals have discomfort in the jaw, shoulder, neck, or arm. In other situations, especially for older adults or women, the pain may seem more like pressure in the back or stomach than it does in the chest. Other pain symptoms include feeling lightheaded, breaking out in a cold sweat, or feeling queasy and disoriented. Let's look at an extreme case. Richard, who was 74 years old at the time, was sitting at the table in his kitchen when he had a peculiar tightness behind his collarbone. It was almost like he was experiencing heartburn. However, he also noted that he was unable to take a full breath, and his palms started to sweat. He recalled reading that not all heart attacks begin with pain, and as a result, he decided to take action rather than dismiss it as unimportant. It is possible that he would have survived if he had made that choice. It is common for the body to utter a hushed whisper before releasing a scream. And when it comes to heart attacks, those whispers are your sole opportunity to take action before the damage starts to occur. It is possible that you will be too late if you wait for the traditional drama that involves chest clutching. Therefore, the next time you sense anything is off, and especially if it is a mix of pressure, shortness of breath, or unusual weariness, you should stop what you are doing without further delay. Don't make the mistake of trying to tough it out. Insist to yourself that it's nothing more than indigestion. Becoming aware of the warning indicators is the first step toward ensuring your survival. Even if they appear to be of little importance, you should treat them with seriousness. Your very existence could be at stake. Calling the emergency services as soon as possible is the second step. As soon as you have any reason to believe that a heart attack might be beginning, the very next thing you should do is immediately dial 911 without any hesitation. There is no point in waiting to see if the symptoms disappear. Refrain from attempting to drive yourself, and do not presume that you are exaggerating your reactions. Not only is calling emergency services the quickest method to seek assistance, but it is also the most effective thing you can do to ensure that you do not lose your life. An attack on the heart is not something that can be avoided. Every minute is time. If your heart muscle is deprived of oxygen for a longer period of time, the damage will be more severe. Nevertheless, when you dial 911, skilled specialists are already getting ready to arrive at your location as they drive by. Equipment, medication, and the capacity to keep you alive are all things that they are bringing with them. If your heart stops beating while you are on your way to the hospital, and if your symptoms deteriorate rapidly, which is something that happens quite frequently, you will not be able to assist yourself. Because of this, attempting to drive is one of the most risky decisions that people may give themselves. You run the risk of inducing an accident, losing consciousness, or delaying your own medical attention. Give the experts the opportunity to come to you. Recall what transpired with Linda, who was 78 years old. Not only did she have a peculiar pain in her left shoulder, but she also experienced a wave of nausea and a chilly sweat. The idea of phoning her son crossed her mind, but then she recalled a nurse who had previously advised her that if she was alone herself and suspected that she was having a heart attack, she should phone 911 first and then talk to her family thereafter. The call was made by her. The severity of her symptoms had increased by the time the ambulance came, but the team was prepared for the situation. On the spot, they stabilized her condition. The phone call actually prevented her death. Even if you are not certain that you are having a heart attack, you can still call for assistance. If the situation turns out to be something different, the dispatcher will not be upset about it. Actually, they would like to send assistance. There was no reason for you to pass up an opportunity to save your life. If you live by yourself, it is especially important to store your phone in a location that is easily accessible. Do not hesitate to use the emergency call option if you are experiencing symptoms and are unable to communicate adequately. There are some phones that offer a shortcut that allows you to call for assistance even while the phone is locked. Figure out where it is and put it to use. I would appreciate it if you could use the second comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Now, let's proceed with our plans. The third recommendation is to eat an aspirin in a calm and unhurried manner. The next most powerful action you can take is a straightforward one, and it comes after you have called emergency services. Try chewing an aspirin. Chew rather than swallow. In addition, take your time with it, even if your hands are shaking. This one action can dramatically raise your chances of surviving a heart attack, provided that you have access to a regular aspirin that is 325 milligrams in dosage, that you do not have an allergy to it, and that you are not taking a blood thinner that would make it contraindicated. Aspirin is effective because it reduces the thickness of the blood. The formation of a blood clot that may be blocking one of your coronary arteries can be slowed down or prevented with the help of this medication. It was the very thing that was the root cause of the heart attack first and foremost. You will be able to get the medication into your system more quickly if you chew the tablet rather than swallowing it whole. It has been demonstrated through research that this can buy critical minutes, sometimes even enough to restore some blood flow before further assistance arrives. The consumption of aspirin on an empty stomach should be avoided unless it is absolutely necessary to do so. The risk of clotting, on the other hand, is significantly greater than that concern in the event of a heart attack. Aspirin that is coated or has a delayed release should also be avoided. Chew it even if it's the only thing you have. If you want the results to begin as soon as possible, you should not delay. Here is a story about Joe, who is 72 years old. On a certain morning, he experienced a stiffness that began in his chest and moved to his neck. He was able to recall that he had a bottle of aspirin stored in the cabinet in the kitchen. During the time that he was sitting down and waited for the paramedics, he chewed on one. The damage to his cardiac muscle was likely decreased as a result of a single action. According to his cardiologist, who informed him later, he claimed that the small medication prevented the situation from deteriorating further. If you live by yourself, you should make sure that aspirin is easily accessible and stored. You may put some of it in a drawer in your kitchen, a nightstand, or even in your wallet. Check that it has not passed its expiration date, and let your loved ones know where you keep it in case they ever find themselves in need of assistance. Although it may appear to be overly simplistic, this modest gesture is really supported by scientific research and is utilized by emergency personnel all over the world. The practice of chewing aspirin at the beginning of a heart attack is not merely a recommendation. It is a tried and tested remedy. On top of that, during those crucial first minutes, it can be the deciding factor in whether or not the patient is able to leave the hospital or if they never make it there at all. Fourth, if you want to protect your heart, you should either sit or lie down. When you have finished taking aspirin and calling for assistance, the next step is straightforward, but it is of the utmost importance. You should stop moving and sit or lie down in the position that is the safest and most comfortable for you. Right now is not the time to slow down. Unless it is absolutely required, you should either gather your possessions or unlock the doors. When you engage in any more physical activity, you put additional strain on your heart, which is already having trouble receiving sufficient oxygen. You should sit in such a way that your back is supported, your feet are flat, and your arms are resting in a relaxed position. This helps minimize the workload that your heart is under while you wait for the paramedics to arrive. You should lie down on your side with your head slightly elevated and refrain from trying to push through the discomfort if you are experiencing feelings of fainting or lightheadedness. This way of thinking may have been beneficial to you in other aspects of your life, but at this point in time, it is a risk that you simply cannot afford to take. It is not uncommon for people to experience feelings of embarrassment, cry for assistance, and then sit there doing nothing instead. It is important to note, however, that doing nothing is the same as working. It allows your heart to regulate, it slows your breathing, and it prevents your body from burning through its already restricted oxygen supply. All of these benefits are brought about by this. Consider the case of Alice, who is 81 years old. The first thing that came to her mind as she felt pressure spreading over her chest was to tidy up the kitchen and get herself together. However, she recalled what her physician had said in the past. Please take a seat if you believe that it is your heart. You can put everything else on hold. She made herself comfortable in her go-to recliner and waited for assistance. Over time, she came to realize that the absence of movement had most likely kept her symptoms from developing into a full-blown cardiac arrest. In the event that you ever experience any of these symptoms, including pressure, shortness of breath, or dizziness, you should refrain from attempting to complete the task at hand. You should either remain in the same location or move as little as possible to a more secure location. Place yourself in a seated or lying position. Take slow, deep breaths, and allow your body to concentrate on living. Here is something that is straightforward but frequently disregarded. Do not allow your body to sag if you are sitting in a chair that does not have armrests. Maintain a supportive posture for your spine and clear your breathing. Your heart will have to exert less effort to pump blood when you are in a position that is more relaxed and upright. I would appreciate it if you could use the fourth comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Now, let's proceed with our plans. Unlocking your door for members of the emergency response team is the fifth step. Unlocking your front door is one of the most useful things you can do if you still have enough strength after you have called for assistance and taken some time to calm yourself. Even while it might seem like a little step, in the event of an emergency, even seconds can make a difference, and a locked door can cause treatment to be delayed when time is of the essence. As a matter of course, paramedics are trained to break in if it becomes necessary. Nevertheless, forced entrance takes more time, causes damage, and may even cause you to be startled or injured if you are in close proximity to the entry point. Being able to walk right in and begin providing care instantly is made possible by unlocking the door in advance. Your heart might not have the ability to save many minutes, but just one simple action could save you those minutes, even if you live alone, especially in a gated neighborhood or an apartment complex. You should give some thought to the mechanics of the situation before a crisis ever occurs. When viewed from the inside, is it simple to open your door? Are you able to provide a public address? Can someone in the immediate vicinity get their hands on a spare key? When it comes to these things, they don't appear to be urgent until they suddenly become so. Take Paul, who is 76 years old and lives in a modest condominium. As soon as he saw the symptoms, he immediately dialed 911, chewed an aspirin, and unlocked his door. All of this took place in less than 2 minutes, in addition to preventing them from having to break into the building. The paramedics said that a single action helped them reach him 30 seconds faster. That is the very last thing I would have thought of, he commented later, but it could have been the item that brought me assistance at the very moment I needed it. If going to the door seems like too much of a risk, you shouldn't do it. Please take a seat and concentrate on your breathing. Go ahead and unlock the door if you are in close proximity to it and if you are confident that you can reach it without risking injury. The use of a medical lockbox or a smart lock that allows for remote access is another option to take into consideration for your key, particularly if you live alone or have difficulties moving around. Even though it is a relatively minor act of preparation, it conveys a message to the individuals who are going to save you. You are prepared. That is all that you have done. They are now responsible for the remaining tasks. Utilizing the speaker or medical ID features of your phone is the sixth suggestion. In the event that you are waiting alone during a heart attack, your phone becomes more than simply a means of contact, it becomes your lifeline. Additionally, switching to speakerphone mode is one of the most intelligent methods to use it at that very moment. Because of this, you are able to communicate with emergency personnel without having to use your hands. This helps you to concentrate on breathing and remaining as calm as possible, without having to need to keep your phone to your ear or clutch it tightly. Even the simple act of placing something to your ear might make it more difficult for you to breathe when you are experiencing a stressful situation. The use of a speakerphone not only alleviates the strain on your body, but it also makes it possible for the dispatcher to hear you more clearly in the event that you suddenly become unable to speak. They will also be able to listen for any indications of your disease that may be present in the background, such as your breathing, your movements, and even your tone. Moreover, your emergency medical identification is now included in every smartphone, which is something that is equally important. On an iPhone, it is possible to access it even while the device is locked. A feature that is comparable can frequently be found in Android phones. The information it contains is extremely important, including your age, allergies, prescriptions, and medical conditions. Having this information can help save time and guide decisions regarding your care in the event that you are unconscious when the paramedics arrive. Consider Susan, who is 79 years old. It was only a few moments before assistance arrived that she passed out. But the paramedics were able to determine quickly that she was diabetic and allergic to penicillin due to the fact that her phone had her medical ID entered into it. They avoided providing her something that could have made the situation even more difficult as a result of this. Furthermore, They were able to call her daughter by utilizing the emergency contact that was made available within the phone itself. The process of establishing this information takes less than 5 minutes, and it is accessible indefinitely. Please provide your name, date of birth, any serious conditions you have, drugs you take, allergies, and 1 or 2 people you can call in case of an emergency. It is not only for people who are proficient in technology, for everyone who could one day want assistance when they are unable to speak for themselves. This is for them. Therefore, if you ever sense the beginnings of a heart attack coming on, you should make use of your speakerphone, maintain your connection, and have faith in the person who is on the other end of the line. Their soothing tone, consistent instructions, and unwavering presence can help to alleviate some of the anxiety associated with waiting. And in the event that something takes place before assistance arrives, your phone may still be able to speak for you even when you are unable to do so. I would appreciate it if you could use the 6th comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Now, let's proceed with our plans. 7th, learn to slow your breathing in order to stabilize your heart rate. When you are in the midst of a heart attack, it is not uncommon to experience feelings of panic taking control. Your chest is tight, your thoughts are racing, and each passing second appears to be more audible than the one before it. Your breath, however, is the only surviving tool you have at your disposal. In addition, if you make effective use of it, it has the potential to quiet your nervous system to the point where it gives your heart a higher chance of being stable. In order to prevent a heart attack, controlled breathing is not the solution. During the time when assistance is on its way, it is important to prevent your body from going into a full-blown surprise. It is possible that your heart rate will quicken as your anxiety level increases. On the other hand, if you slow your breath, you may slowly bring that rhythm back down. The use of a specialized method is not required. A simple experiment would be to take a slow breath in via your nose for around 4 seconds. Hold it for a time, and then exhale gently through your mouth for a period of 6 seconds. Try it one more. Pay attention to that one particular rhythm. Stress can cause your heart to go into potentially deadly arrhythmias, and it can assist prevent your heart from going into these arrhythmias by providing your body with something firm to anchor to. Take into consideration what transpired with Frank, who was 83 years old. Upon experiencing the pain, he had the sensation of being submerged in fear. However, he recalled a straightforward breathing exercise that his physician had instructed him to perform at a visit. He kept himself calm, concentrated on each breath, and let go of the panic that was consuming him. As soon as the emergency medical technicians arrived, his heart was still irregular, but it was not in complete arrest. After some time had passed, he stated, "I just kept thinking, stay calm, stay alive." The practice of this breathing can be done at any moment. In situations where you are resting, when you are experiencing anxiety, or even while you are watching television. The more familiar something is to you, the more instinctively your body will return to it when the stakes are exceptionally high. Although your breath won't be able to replace your arteries, it can give you some time. It has the ability to maintain oxygen flow and assist your heart in maintaining its rhythm. In addition, there are situations when that is the only advantage you require in the tense seconds before assistance arrives. Stay still and you will not die. Lastly, some thoughts. Being able to survive a heart attack on your own is not solely dependent on luck. As the saying goes, preparation, awareness, and taking calm action are the keys to success. These 7 procedures may appear to be straightforward on their own, but when taken collectively, they constitute a potent chain that has the potential to save your life. Always be aware of the warning indicators. Get assistance as soon as possible. Take aspirin if you are able to. When you want to conserve your strength, sit or lie down. Please make it simpler for assistants to get to you. To maintain a constant heart rate, make intelligent use of the capabilities on your phone and slow down your breathing. Every one of these actions will gain you a modest amount of additional time. Every one of them provides you a little bit more control. And every one of them conveys a crucial message, which is that even when you are by yourself, you are not absolutely powerless. Although having a heart attack may feel like the most terrifying form of isolation, the measures that are outlined below will serve to remind you that you are not completely helpless. Not even for a single instant. You are equipped with tools. You are knowledgeable, and you have a plan at this point. Ask yourself, what was the most memorable thing that happened to you today? Was there a step that you had not previously considered, or one that you now see in a different perspective than you did before? Give some thought to the ways in which you may incorporate this into your own life, and perhaps even discuss it with someone who is important to you. It is possible that it will not only save your life, but it may also save theirs. We appreciate you being here with us today. It would be wonderful if you could get in touch with us. In the comment section below, please share one thing that you have learned today and how you intend to put it to use in your life. Happy learning! We place a high value on your opinions, so please do not be reluctant to share them with us. Our inspiration and encouragement are greatly increased as a result of reading your remarks. I would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it to be informative and enjoyable. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. We appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we hope to see you in the future video.